Good afternoon, Robert Scribbler. It is July 31st, 2018. Thank you for joining me for another climate change and clean energy video blog. Now, for this segment, I'm going to provide an update for you on the present Western wildfire situation, in particular, the Carr Fire, which is still burning and is still mostly uncontained. But first, what I'm going to do is share with you a few maps, and the first map is a satellite shot provided by NASA of yesterday evening, July 30th. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Now, the red spots we see on the map here are fires, and as you can see, we have numerous wildfires burning on up into the north, into Alaska, into British Columbia, parts of Canada, and in some locations approaching the Arctic Circle. And this is due in large part to a massive heat wave that is affecting both the US West and also the North American West as well. I'm going to talk a bit about this in relationship to sea ice in another blog, but in this particular instance, this heat wave is exaggerating wildfire risk and helping to make wildfires more intense across the US West. And as you can see, we have a massive plume of smoke that is blanketing large sections of the US West. Zooming in, we see numerous massive fires burning yesterday and large smoke plumes occluding sunlight throughout the region. And I don't think that I've ever seen in all of my 6 years of climate observation, continuous daily climate observation, I don't think I've ever seen a western smoke plume that it has been so large and so contiguous. So this is a very impressive, if that's the right word, representation in the satellite shot. Now I just want to call your attention to a fire tracking website or an incident tracking website called InsaWeb, and this site gives you information about specific fires across the US and presently across the US West, and each fire notification is indicated by a little shield with a fire symbol on it. And if you want to find a specific fire, find information out about a specific fire, you can click on that fire and it will drill down and give you information, specifically size, for example, and containment, and just general information, and also the most recent updated information for each fire. So, and if you click through, you can get more information about the fire, including maps and extent. So it's a good resource, so I recommend that you take a look at InsaWeb if you're interested about information about specific fires. And I'm going to provide for you an update on the Carr Fire, which is now the 7th worst wildfire in terms of damage inflicted for California. And as of this morning at 7:15 a.m., the Carr Fire had extended to 110,000 acres and had wiped out 1,236 structures and damaged another approximately 225 more. So nearly 1,500 structures damaged or destroyed in a 172 square mile fire. And this is a very severe fire. It's also resulted in the loss of at least 6 lives. But there is some good news. According to reports from firefighters on the ground, the fire is now 27% contained, which is much higher than earlier containment numbers. Now, it's not by far the end of it, but the incident commander, Brett Govia, is noting that we've turned a corner on this fire. I hate saying those things because this thing has made me a liar many times. So the fire is still a very dangerous fire. It's threatening numerous communities That said, some people in Reading have been allowed to return home, and so the evacuation levels for this fire have dropped a bit and the containment levels for this fire have increased. Let's hope that this trend continues for the Carr Fire. Now I just want to show you a PDF file of the worst fires, the most destructive fires in California. And presently, the Carr Fire ranks 7th ahead of the Thomas Fire from last year with more than 1,200 structures damaged. It's possible that the Carr Fire could climb in this estimate. Let's hope it does not. But already the 7th worst fire in terms of damage, structures damaged on record. I just want to point out that a lot of these most damaging fires have occurred in recent years. Tubbs Fire was 2017. The Valley Fire was 2015, which was the 4th most destructive. Tubbs was the 1st most destructive. The Nuns Fire occurred during October of 2017 as well, and the Thomas Fire occurred in 2017. So numerous of the most destructive wildfires have occurred during recent years. So this is something that is not unexpected. It's an unfortunate upshot of human-forced climate change that fires become more destructive and more widespread as temperatures increase. And I know I've talked about this a number of times, but I just want to call your attention to this particular graphic, which was produced in the late 2000s, around 2008 or 2009, projecting how much more areas would burn as a result of temperature increase in the US West. And what the study found was that if temperatures rose by 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit, then many regions would see 6 times as much area burned or more, and practically all regions would see up to 2 times or more area burned, with the area in Northern California seeing 2 to 5 times more area burned. So global warming is a primary driver of wildfires. Increased heat increases evaporation from lands and vegetation and provides an increased impetus for fire intensity. Hot times are among the worst times to fight fires, and fires can grow much more rapidly during hot times than during cool times, particularly if heat is accompanied with dryness, which it often tends to be. And this map is notable because, just going to check the time here, the map is notable because it's showing an extreme increase in wildfires with a relatively moderate level of warming. So the Earth doesn't have to heat up too much for us to get worsening wildfires. Now, I want to say that we can change the trend, the temperature increase trend that has worsened wildfires across the US West, and we can do it by reducing human carbon emissions, primarily fossil fuel burning. By reducing fossil fuel burning, we reduce the root cause of human-caused climate change and the impetus for warming. If we don't, unfortunately, the situation will continue to worsen, but there is a pathway for us to get out of a process which includes ever worsening wildfires. And to do that, we can do that by switching to clean energy and by reducing human-caused carbon emissions. So thank you for joining me, and I'll be chatting with you soon.